Hi there, hi, I'm Dr. Aziz, I'm one of the doctors on the ward.
But are you the consultant then? Because you don't look like a consultant to me.
No, I'm the consultant's junior doctor. The consultant is, he's away today, unfortunately.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah, you can never find the consultant here. So why did they send you? I want to see the consultant anyway. Can you just not get me a consultant or someone on the phone?
Yeah. Today he is, unfortunately, he's away today. I'm the other medical representative. Can I just check your name first?
That's Mrs. Lewis.
Mrs. Lewis, yeah. And you're the mother of?
Of John.
Of John, oh,
yes. You know John?
Yes, I do. I've known John for a few weeks now. I believe you have some complaints about the ward.
Well, I have lots of complaints about the ward, but what happened recently was just unbelievable, and I'm really against my tether with this. But I really don't want to speak to you. I don't think you're really appropriate for me because, you know, this has been going on for ages, and I'm really...
Well, clearly you're very frustrated.
Frustrated? You just called me frustrated? Of course I will be frustrated. What do you mean?
It's understandable. What I would say to you is I can arrange for you to see the consultant on another day, but if you'd like to tell me about your problems, I can see what I can do about them for you.
Yeah, well, you can speak to your bloody nurses and find out what happened, but you can't just call my son a schizophrenic, okay? Because he's not a schizophrenic.
Okay. And which nurses was it?
I don't even know their names.
You don't know
I don't know their names, no.
And what time was this at?
Well, it was just a few hours ago.
A few hours ago.
I came to see John and I heard them talking to each other and they were laughing and all and talking about this schizophrenic.
Okay. Do you know...
Do you think that this is acceptable?
It would be hard for me to comment on without hearing...
You're part of this team. What do you mean it's hard for you to comment on?
What I mean is, it would be... Obviously, I'm hearing your point of view now, but I would also... There's always two sides.
So you might not believe me?
I'm not saying that I might not believe you. I just would like to clarify what the nurses exactly said and what happened exactly. So can you give me what they said exactly and what time was it around?
Well, I just told you. Can you not hear me?
So you said it was
a few hours ago.
A
few hours ago, and it was between them. They were just laughing over a cup of tea and talking about someone, and then I realized they were talking about John, and they referred to him as the schizophrenic of the ward.
How do you know it was your son, John?
What do you mean? How do I know it was my son, John?
As in, on this ward we actually have 3 patients called John.
Well, first of all, it doesn't matter because for whoever it is, it's unacceptable in the first place, okay? But then they said a few other things that made me think that this is about my son, and you know, I wanted to immediately tell them to get out of the ward, but I thought I should keep my calm and...
And it's very good that you kept your calm and you've come and spoken to me.
Yeah, but I don't want to speak to you, you see. When am I going to see this consultant anyway?
If you could just take a seat.
Don't tell me to take a seat. I don't want to sit down. I just want to see the consultant.
Okay. Unfortunately, the consultant's not here today.
So how can you help me? You can't help me anyway.
What I can do is I can raise your concerns with the staff and speak to the nursing staff involved. Can you tell me what else? You said they said a few things. What other things did they say?
I don't want to continue speaking to you.
I understand obviously that you want to talk to the consultant, and I can see you're clearly quite. You're obviously upset at what's happened in the morning today. Unfortunately, I can't arrange for the consultant to speak to you now. Like I said, I can arrange for you to speak to him at another date. But for now, if you'd like to talk to your concerns about me, then I would be able to communicate your concerns to the ward itself, and we can see what exactly happened.
You know, I don't know. I just think I should just wait for the consultant.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think...
I mean, like I said, you can, but obviously you have a lot of things on your mind and so forth, and it may help you to speak to myself. I know I'm not the consultant involved, but I would relay everything you said back to me to the consultant, and then the consultant would also see you at a later date, and I would try and arrange that as soon as he's available.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have a chat then.
Okay.
That's fine.
So you said, obviously, she said John is... Sorry?
I think so now it's finished, yeah.
It's finished?
Mm.
Oh,
Is it?
it's meant to be 10.
Okay.
Shall we just do...
Yeah. Continue.
So you said that John is... John, you heard the nurses saying that John is a schizophrenic. You said they also said a few other things. Could you just clarify to me?
Oh, they just said that, this guy that was holding the knife when he was caught, and that he's a complete, he's high as a kite, and phrases like that were completely unacceptable.
Yes. And did they say anything else which was derogatory towards John? These things are clearly things which aren't appropriate, which I will feed back to the nursing staff and the ward manager as well. What else did they say?
Well, just things like, he's in love with this girl on the ward, but she would never come back to look at him because he's so and so, and he looks like a zombie, and then they called him, he's schizophrenic though, isn't he? And they start laughing. I think, how would you feel?
If I was in your position, obviously I would be very, very upset. It's your loved one, and it's fully understandable. So they said he was as high as a kite. You also said he was in love with a girl on the ward. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that they were laughed about him being schizophrenic.
Yeah, I want them removed immediately from the ward. Actually, can you do that now?
I can't do that now. What I can do is I will speak to the ward manager.
So you will let these two nurses stay in the ward looking after my son until you speak to your manager, and this will take hours and hours and hours.
Clearly you're frustrated.
But stop calling me frustrated.
Sorry. I'm sorry for using the word frustrated, obviously. What I can do is I can speak to the ward manager and see if perhaps the patient could be moved. I cannot guarantee that, but I can speak to the manager and see.
But they have to be removed now. You know what I mean? They can't continue looking after my son. Otherwise, I'm taking my son and going home.
In this situation, what we usually have to do is we have to do a full investigation.
But until you do your investigations, these two nurses have to go now. Otherwise, I am taking John and going home now. So you choose.
Okay. Is John on the mental health?
I don't know, but I don't really care. It might be, it might not be. I don't know what this means anyway.
Okay. So, from what I'm aware, John is under the Mental Health Act.
So what's even that? I don't even know.
Okay. So the Mental Health Act is a law which gives the power is a ruling for. So because John is very unwell at the moment, we feel it's in his best interest.
Yeah, but this place will make him worse. So I don't care if he's under any law or whatever. So I am taking him now. So you better fill in your papers, and I'm going home with him.
Well, actually, because John is so unwell, we feel he has to be in a place of safety like this ward at the moment. Where
But it's not clearly a place of safety.
And what I can say is we will do a full investigation. I will speak to the ward manager.
I don't care about your investigation and the manager, really.
I can also arrange that you speak to the ward manager and talk about your complaints as well.
I know these managers, they're always very busy, and they will give me an appointment like in 2 weeks or a month's time, and then...
What I can do is I will speed back now. I will go and speak to them now and see how quickly they can see you.
But it's 7 o'clock in the evening. Are they still here?
I'm not sure, but I can... I will try and see what I can do and try and arrange a meeting with you as soon as possible.
What am I going to do tonight? I'm telling you, I'm taking my son home tonight if these two nurses are not removed immediately.
Okay. Well, so your son is under the Mental Health Act, so you wouldn't have the power to take him home, actually, under the law.
So you're telling me that I can't protect my son from this mess here?
The law is there to try and help your son because he's so unwell. Like I said, what I'll do is I'll speak to the nurse manager.
Yeah,
now.
well, I just don't want to speak to you anymore. I want to speak to a senior member of staff or a consultant now.
Okay.
And you have to arrange this for me now.
What I can do is I will speak to the consultant on call, who is, because it's out of hours, we have a consultant who is on call. He's not the consultant who's looking after you, most likely. I will speak to you about your concerns and the fact that you no longer want to speak to myself, and I will come back and feedback to you what he has said. Okay.
Well, I did better come over here now because I really don't have time for this.
Okay.
I need to get going with John.
I will speak to him now, okay, and I'll come back and feedback to you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks very much. Thank you.